Welcome to 6-Space VMS T Initiation Exposure courses. In Phase 2, we are at Step 3. Today in Step 3, our focus is going to be about 6-dimensional fray. Previously in Step 2, our focus has been upon 6-space content flow, and the first step had been about the introductory features. Phase 1 has been focusing upon Hypercube 6 format, and in Phase 2 we are essentially focusing upon 6-space content flow along Sthapatya miring rod. Sthapatya miring rod is a synthetic setup of hypercubes 1 to 6, the representative regular bodies of 1 to 6 space. Welcome. Sadhakas, students, teachers and scholars are welcome. Let us open our notebook, 6-space VMST notebook. In it we shall make a note that in Phase 2 of 6-space VMST, in Step 3, today the focus is going to be upon 6-dimensional fray. Make a note that in 6-space VMST, we are in Phase 2. In Phase 1, our focus has been upon Hypercube 6 format. Hypercube 6 is a four-fold manifestation layer, 4, 5, 6 and 7, means 4 space in the role of dimension, 5 space as boundary, 6 space as domain and 7 space as origin. In Phase 2, the focus is upon 6-space content flow along Sthapatya miring rod. 6-space content is manifesting as the domain fold. Therefore, domain fold of Hypercube 6 is a 6-space content lump manifesting and playing the role of a domain fold of Hypercube 6. This content, 6-space content, is having a flow, and this flow is along a Sthapatya miring rod, as within 6-space domain there is a simultaneous manifestation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The whole range of spaces manifest. The formats of these 6 bodies are of as interval, square, cube, Hypercube 4, Hypercube 5 and Hypercube 6. Hypercube 1 is having a single dimension. Here there are pair of dimensions. Here there are triple dimensions, quadruple dimensions, 5 dimensions and 6 dimensions. Now this Sthapatya miring rod manifests a format within a 6-space domain. So within this domain is a manifestation of these format. Therefore, single axis, pair of axes, triple axis, quadruple, penta and extra number of dimensions manifest and give a format. And as these manifest within 6-space domain, so the 6-space content initially manifests as a single dimension, then as a pair of dimension, then as triple dimensions, then as quadruple dimensions and 5 dimensions, and ultimately as 6 dimensions. It is this manifestation within 6-space domain as a 6-space content lamp sequentially organizing itself as a 6-space content manifestation of an interval. The 6-space content along a pair of axes manifesting and availing this format of hypercube 2, then triple dimensions manifesting availing triple dimensions of hypercube 3, then quadruple dimensions availing the format of hypercube 4, penta dimensions availing the format of hypercube 5, and hexa dimensions availing the format of hypercube 6. Now this hypercube 6 as such is a dimensional frame. 6 space is having 6 dimensions. Now each dimension is 4 space because these are creative dimensions. So 4 space is playing the role of dimension of a 6 space. This makes a creative dimension. So 6 space is having as many as 6 creative dimensions. This 4 space as dimension, so 6 number of times, 6 is the frequency here. So 6 creative dimensions as such are manifested, creating a dimensional frame. Therefore, we have to now see this setup of dimensions. So first dimension 4, then second dimension will make it a pair, third dimensions will make it a triple, fourth dimensions will make it a quadruple, then the penta number of dimensions will be there, and ultimately hexa number of dimensions are going to be there. Now this creative dimensional frame here as such is yielding us value 4, here value comes to be 6, here again is value 6, here is value again is 4, and then we know that this range of values are reaching further. Then before to reach that, let us have a reach at the formula. The single dimension, say of order n, at single dimension gives us value n. The pair of dimensions give us value n plus 2. Triple dimensions give us value 6. And then the quadruple dimensions give us value 12 minus 2n. Here 5 dimensions give us value 20 minus 5n. And the 6 dimensions give us value 30 minus 6n. 30 minus 9n. Now see, when we put the value of 4 as single dimension, we get value 4. When put the value 4 here for pair of dimensions, we get the value 6. When we put the value here triple, it remains 6. Then when we put the value here for 4, 8, and this gives us value 4. Now here when there are 5 values, then it gives us value 4, we get the value 0. It is this feature which deserves to be comprehended well. One shall be face to face with this when there are penta number of creative dimensions, the synthesis value comes to be 0. It is this feature which deserves to be comprehended well. It is this feature in terms of which it will be very convenient for us to have a proper insight, and add the 6 number of dimensions as such give us value minus 6. A beautiful feature, a wonderful feature, a feature which deserves to be comprehended well. One shall make a note as that the dimensional frame of 6 space is a setup of 6 creative dimensions. Each dimension is of order 4. 4 space is playing the role of dimension of 6 space. The single dimension gives a value 4. Then a pair of dimensions give us value 6. triple dimensions also give us value 6. As such, it also is the feature which deserves to be comprehended well. And the quadruple gives us 4. Therefore, it is giving us a parabolic, this 4, then value 6, then value 6, then value is 4. It is this feature which is actually giving us an insight, bring us face to face with as to how the 6-space domain is organized, how the content within 6-space as domain is flowing, how the creative dimension, how the 4-space content is flowing within a 6-space domain, and how this flow as it is takes us to that when we are having 0 number of dimension, the value will be 0. However, when we will be having 5 dimensions, it again will be value is 0. It is this feature here of the inner structure of 6-space domain. Make a specific note as that the inner structure of 6-space content as a flow of a creative order, as a flow of a 4-space content in the role of a dimension is organizing the inner structure of a 6-space domain. And this takes us, when initial stage was of a 0 number of dimensions, the same state again comes when there are 5 number of dimensions. Wonderful feature, beautiful feature, excellent feature. Actually, it is marvelous state. It is most beautiful state. It deserves to be comprehended well. One shall be face to face with these features of the inner structures of a 6-space domain, and a step ahead the value comes to be -6. Wonderful. We are within a 6-space domain. Now 6-space domain in terms of its 6 dimensions. So the dimensional frame, the 6-dimensional frame of 6 creative dimensions, ultimately at the synthesis stage of the 6th dimension takes us to value 6. Wonderful thing. It is this feature of a 6-space domain which deserves to be comprehended well, as in terms of it only we will be in a position that why the modern systems are not successful to have a proper comprehension of the Vedic systems, as it will not be possible for them to conceive or to realize or to visualize or to comprehend or to imbibe or to project at all as to why this value -6 would be there. It may not be possible to appreciate for them, as it appears that when they are linearly progressing, it appears as if they are covering on both sides. That means -infinity to infinity coverage is possible by the way they are progressing. No. Once they start progressing, they progress either on this side or on this side. This is why when there is a definition of a continuity and there is a definition of derivative, and then the phenomenon comes, everywhere continuous function remains nowhere derivable. It is not appreciable for them, because a raised to power n is equal to 2n b raised to power n minus 1. From n space, the reach is going to be at n minus 1 space, and the boundary comes to be of 2n components, while the derivative gives us only n components. So when one is working with n components, that is with a half boundary, then it may not be possible to see and conceive what has been left out. Now it is this feature is to be comprehended well, and the Vedic system's success lies as 4 space itself is a spatial order space, and being a spatial order space, so within a surface there is possibility of happening of both things simultaneously available, line as well as a surface. So linear and surface both are simultaneously available, and it is because of it that within a surface there happens to be a superimposition of orientation, as the shift in orientation within surface is permissible while it is not permissible along a line. It is here where we have to appreciate that 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, 2 into 4, 2 into 2 is also equal to 4, and minus 2 into minus 2 as well is equal to 4. Therefore, it is not only the addition operation and multiplication operation which gets superimposed, but the orientation as well gets superimposed indistinguishably. Therefore, one shall make a very specific note. One shall be silently, very gently, very smoothly have to comprehend and this feature, and for it we have to be face to face with this feature, and it is only by being face to face with this feature that we may be in a position to appreciate that 6 space is having 13 geometries. This is of minus 6 signatures to plus 6 signatures. So these 7 non-negative geometries and these 7 non-positive geometries and 6 positive geometries and 6 negative geometries, and there is a 1 euro signature geometry. It is with these features recognition only that one will be in a position to appreciate the why the formulation sub, which simple rendering meaning is 7, is having a TCB value 14. It is this feature which deserves to be appreciated well, and with its help only we will be in a position to appreciate as to why the modern mathematicians are confronted with a situation that hypercircles 1 to 7 increase while hypercircles 8 onwards decrease. Not only that, this is a problem with which the modern mind is confronted, but further the basic difficulty with the axioms is that modern mind even is not in a position to appreciate that why it is happening. Why it is happening is not coming within the comprehension of the modern mind only because they are not appreciating as to how the one space when as dimension creates 3 space of 7 geometries range. Therefore, linear order can take only up till increase of hypercircles 1 to 7. Welcome to the second session of step 3 lesson. We were at the stage as that one space as dimension creates 3 space domain of 7 geometries range, and it is because of it that there is increase of hypercircles 1 to 7. However, beyond that there is no reach for this axioms, this processing step. Vedic systems are accepting value 8 as a dimensional value of a spatial order, as 1, 2, 3 steps further will take to value 8 is the feature which deserves to be comprehended, and it is giving us 1 into 1, 2 into 1, 3 into 1 and 4 into 2. It is here where the creative dimension comes into play, 4 space comes into play, and that is why the creative dimensional frame of 6 dimensions as it is taking us to value minus 6. Now let us see that if we are having a synthesis value of n space as a dimension, then it will be giving us value. We can put the values n is equal to 6 and reach like that: 6, 8, 6, 0, minus 10, minus 24, and this gives us a total value minus 56. And 56 we know is equal to 7 into 8. It is here where we will have appreciation as to how the transcendence from value 7 to value 8 is being reached by the Vedic systems by availing 4 space in the role of dimension of a 6 space. A step ahead, when n is equal to 7, we're getting at values 7, 9, 6, minus 2, minus 15, minus 33, 56 gives us minus 94. And minus 94 would mean it is equal to 47 plus 47. It is this value which is of very big importance, and it is this importance which deserves to be appreciated, as 47 is equal to 15 plus 17 plus 15, and we know 15 and 15 will synthesize value 17. If n is equal to 15, it will synthesize the value 17, and 17 we know is equal to hypercube 8 is having 17 versions. All these features get interconnected, and further 15 is equal to value of the dimensional frame of 5 space, 5 solid dimensions. Therefore, we shall have a proper tabulation for n is equal to 6 and n is equal to 7. Before that, we shall have a value n is equal to 4 and n is equal to 5. See, n is equal to 4 is taking us to summation value minus 14, while n5 takes us to minus 28. Beautiful. If we are at value 6 as the first perfect number, and then we reach at value 28 as of a second perfect number, therefore to reach from value minus 6 to value minus 28, we had seen that 4 space as dimension is having a reach up till value minus 6 for the total value of 6 creative dimensions, and total value of 7 transcendental dimensions is minus 28. As such, the reach from 6 is equal to Surya, a Surya Ank, to 28 as Brahm. Therefore, to reach at the Brahm Vidya, so reach at Brahm, it is this reach for which the Vedic systems are aspiring, to which the sadhakas are reaching, where we have been reaching. Therefore, it is this reach which is to be comprehended well. So one shall draw this, first one shall draw this rule: single dimension, synthesis value is n, then n plus 2, then 6, 12 minus 2n, 20 minus 5n, 30 minus 9n, 42 minus 14n. Then in terms of it, draw the values. N is equal to 4 for 6 dimensions, for 5, 7 dimensions, and ahead also we can draw the comprehensive table for 4, 5, 6 and 7. Therefore, it is 6 dimensions, then 7 dimensions, then 8 dimensions, and then ultimately 9 dimensions. See this reach, how the creative dimensional frame of 6 dimensions takes us at the ultimate value minus 6, while the transcendental dimensions, 7 dimensions frame, takes us to value minus 28. It is this reach which is to be comprehended well. One is to be face to face with this reach of the Vedic systems. It is this reach which will ultimately help us that we are having an at value n is equal to 6. When S6 is playing the role of a dimension, we will be having value minus 64, and minus 64 is the value which we know is the synthesis value of creative dimensional transcendence ranges. This creative dimensional pair of transcendence ranges with 4 as the dimensional giant gives us value 64. It is this value which is to be appreciated further as that the cube splits into 8 subcubes, and these 8 subcubes are making 8 aspects of our circular Ridgway Samhita. When these further are divided into again 8 subcube 64, these become 64 chapters of a circular Ridgway Samhita. This way, when we will be reaching with this structure and proceeding step by step ahead, ultimately we will be coming face to face with the whole range of circular Ridgway Samhita is unfolding for us. We will take up these issues in subsequent lessons of and subsequent phases of 6-phase VMST. However, here we are restricting ourselves only up till that these 4 steps value 6, 28, 64, and 4, and grand value giving us 14 minus 28, 140, 25, and then further grand value is taking us to this. Draw this table and reach at these steps and then comprehend them, be face to face with it and see their implications, acquire proper insight and aspire for attaining appropriate enlightenment. Now we know that 4 n is equal to 4 taking us to value minus 6, n is equal to 5 is taking us to value minus 28, 6 is a Suryank, 20 is a Brahmank. This is the first perfect number, it is the second perfect number. Therefore, this system which is being reached that way would mean we were to start with 4-fold manifestation layer to 5-fold transcendence range. Therefore, 4, 5, 6, 7 as a manifestation layer, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 as a transcendence range. We have to reach from this manifestation layer to this transcendence range. For it, that way we have to draw this table. This table of n is equal to 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. See how we are reaching at value 6 to 28, then to 64, then to 117, then to 119, and these are values, grand values are coming to be as these are, and then it takes us to the values minus 965. Value 965 means the value 965 is 35 deficient from the value 1000. 35 is the value is equal to 5 into 7. This takes us to a grid 5 and a 7. This 5 and 7 grid is accommodating all the 35 double-digit numbers of 6-place value system. So 6-place value system has an accommodation of all the 35 double-digit numbers. Then beyond that is a triple-digit numbers, and this goes ahead. It is this way that the remaining 965 numbers go. So this grid 5 cross 7 plus this numbers, this reach, this grand reach of the transcendence range, one shall sit comfortably and be face to face with this organization format features as to how the 4-fold manifestation layer, when is to be transcended to 5-fold transcendence range, then this 5-fold transcendence range as such is taking us to value 30, and this value 30 is parallel to the organization 6, 7, 8 and 9, which is of hypercube 9. Therefore, this reach phenomenon is from hypercube 6 to hypercube 9 in terms of its transcendence into a 5-fold transcendence range. Therefore, this fourfold transcendence range, when transcends to the fivefold transcendence range, then ultimately it is taking us to hypercube 9. And we know 6, 7, 8 and 9. This is 6, 7, 8 and 9. It is going to be 6 space in the role of a dimension. Therefore, this 6, 7, 8, 9 is 6 space as dimension, takes us to 9 space as an origin. However, by this transcendence, we are reaching at hypercube 9. Therefore, from here, when we have to reach to hypercube 9, there are very big steps. There are very long range of steps. Therefore, one shall sit comfortably. One shall revisit the organization format of hypercube 6 as a fourfold manifestation layer. Then one shall aspire to be face to face with the transcendence range. Hypercube 6 as 4, 5, 6 fourfold manifestation layer, transcending into a fivefold transcendence range 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Then let us revisit that if 6 space is as a domain is being framed within a dimensional frame of 6 creative dimensions. The creative dimensional frame of 6 dimensions within which 6 space domain is framed, this gives us a synthesis value of -6. -6 is the value which will bring us face to face with as to how the 6 space domain is now taking us to -6 space as a domain. It is this reversal of an orientation. It is this other feature of 6 space which is to be comprehended well. Positive 6 space domain and -6 space domain are to be approached, reached at, processed, comprehended together. So +6 space and -6 space are to be comprehended simultaneously. We know here is 4 space playing the role of a dimension, and we know -6 space itself is playing the role of a -4 space. It is this feature, it is this coordination which deserves to be comprehended well. It is with this comprehension only that we will be in a position to have insight about the values, features and formats of 6 space VMS T. Further, let us make a specific note that 6 number is a Surya Ank. Now, this Surya is a 6 space body. It has a 13 geometries range. TCB value of formulation Surya is 30. It takes us from -6 signature to +6 signatures, and it is this reach from here to here and from here to here which is to be learned. Now, Vedic systems takes us that the Sangya, the nouns, all the Sangyas, the nouns will give us as if we are only dealing with objects. However, from here, when we'll go to Chaya, means reflection, shadow. So the shadows part, the images. Now, reaching from objects to images as a reality of 6 space VMS T. As objects are a reality, so images are also a reality. So shadow, Chaya, Sangya, these are the concepts, and Vedic systems work out that Surya, a 6 space body in a Purusha format, is having 2 wives. One is Sangya and other is Chaya. This knowledge of Vishnu Puran is a complete discipline itself. All those scientists who want to have a chase of the existence phenomenon of sun or of our solar universe, they have to see how this Surya, with interaction and cohabitation and simultaneous existence with a pair of wives, Sangya and Chaya, objects and the shadows, then they will only understand what is a Brahmi Yantra. This Brahmi Yantra would mean this is value is 22 and here value is 16. This value 22 means 4, 5, 6 and 7 hypercube 6, and this value 16 would mean that 6 space as origin of 5 space transcends out and becomes 16, and this 16 of as a range 1 to 16 takes us to factors 1 to 29, means there are 13 extra values, values, and it is what the Surya is. So Surya as such, which looks to us, which we take it to be an object, in fact it is not an object, it is a Chaya. Sit comfortably. Permit the transcending mind to go in meditation. Meditate Brahma's way. Meditate within cavity of one's own heart, where is a seat of the transcendental Lord Shiv, and with the grace of the transcendental Lord, Lord Brahma multiplies as 10 Brahmas. Further, transcendental Lord meditates within cavity of his own heart, where is a seat of a self-referral Lord Vishnu. It is here where we have to permit our mind to remain in transcendental meditation. Continuous prolonged meditation is required to be face to face with the self-referral features of our intelligence field. It is only in terms of self-referral features of our intelligence field that we will be in a position to appreciate as that Surya object as it is appearing. Surya as object, it is appearing as a 6-space body, is in fact a shadow. It is a shadow in a space. Write down formulation Akash is of TC value 8. Chaya as well is a formulation of TC value 8. This Akash, when gives an Avakash, gives a space within it. So space gives a space within it. Now this space within a space for motion for the sun. The space within a space, Avakash within an Akash becomes Vyom. This Akash as Vyom, Akash is of TC value 8. Vyom is of TC value 24. It is 6 into 4. It is 8 plus 8 plus 8. And we know triple dimensions of same order always give a value 6. It is this feature that the triple dimensions of any order are always value 6. Therefore, we have to reach at this value of a 6. Therefore, 6 space VMS T is the VMS T of the synthesis value of reach for any dimensional order, any triple dimensions of any dimensional order, leading us to value 6. Therefore 6 space VMST is the VMST of Avakash within an Akash. It is Vijom. Sadhkas shall note down that Richo Akshare Parme Viyoman. Richas, mantras of Samitas are the manifestations of content flow along a transcendental format as Viyom, Param Viyom. The Param Viyom is the value feature format along which the 6 space content is ultimately taking us to. We have to be face to face with this 6 space content flow. We have to revisit Surya with TCV value 13 parallel to 13 geometry's range of 6 space as simply a chaya, because 6 into 6 pair of dimensions of order 6 give us value 8. Now this value 8 as such is a chaya when we are reaching at a pair of dimensions value. So 6 takes 13 values. 6 and 6 gives us value 8 and it is a chaya. Therefore, when we take Surya, when we approach our sun, simply as of 6 into 6 take 8, it will be giving us simply a chaya. So we have to reach at 6 space, then we have to reach at the triple dimensions, and this will always give us a value 6. Triple 6 dimensions again take us back to value 6. It is this feature, it is this value which is to be comprehended by S. 6 space VMST as single dimension is taking us to a value of a Sthapatya miring rod addition value 21. The pair of dimensions will take us to value 8, which is parallel to the TCV value of a Akash. It is simply a chaya. And a step ahead, when there are triple dimensions of order 6, then these again take us to 6. It is this reach back to value 6 of the synthesis of triple self-referral dimensions. Triple dimensions of order 6 synthesizing value 6. It is this value, it is this feature, it is this format which is taking us to the reality of a 6 space. It is this reality of 6 space which is being urged. We are trying to initiate ourselves. We are trying to have an exposure for 6 space VMST as the reality of a 6 space, and this reality of 6 space as value 6, as synthesis value 6 of triple dimensions of any order, n space, n is equal to 4 or n is equal to 6 or n is equal to 5 or n is equal to any value. So when there are triple dimensions of order n, these synthesize a value 6. It is this reach, it is this value, it is this feature, it is this format for which we are initiating ourselves, and we are having this exposure of this. From step 4 onwards, we will be dealing with the reality phenomenon of 6 space as is preserved in Vishnu Puran, and we will be knowing what Brahmi Yantra is. We will also be knowing what is this phenomenon of the Surya as a Purusha is taking us to Vyom within an Akash, and with it there happens to be the reality features of the existence phenomenon, our existence phenomenon within human body, and the existence phenomenon of our present solar universe, which we want to reach in terms of a Sthapatya miring rod as linearly progressing steps of one more than before, taking us from one space to two space to three space to four space to five space to six space as single dimension, pair of dimensions, triple dimension, quadruple dimensions, penta dimensions, and hexa dimensions of increasing order of one space as dimension of minus one space as dimension of one space, zero space as dimension of two space, one space as dimension of three space, two space as dimension of four space, three space as dimension of five space, and four space as dimension of six space. However, we have to extend further to reach at 5 space as dimension of 7 space, and 8 space as dimension of a 6 space as a dimension of a 8 space. But this again is only moving in a pair organization of a creative order. But when we'll be reaching ahead a triple dimensions order of a transcendental organization, then we will have been face to face with the reality of six space. Thank you very much.